Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Yellow Fangs, Grizzly Terror, also known as Remains, a Japanese thriller from 1990 that was directed by Sonny Chiba and stars Hiroyuki Sanada and Bunta Sugawara. Now this is actually Sonny Chiba's directorial debut, even though he'd been in the industry as an actor for years. So he had some help, as a special advisor position was addressed, and that was Kinji Fukasaku, who was a special advisor on this film, so that's good. The problem is that Chiba also financed this production, which was extremely expensive, okay? Even nowadays, the budget would be expensive for a Japanese film, and the movie bombed at the box office. It bombed. The situation got so bad, I've read, that Chiba lost a significant portion of his personal assets from financing this film that bombed. So keep that in mind when I'm talking about this. So set in 1915, a mountain village in Japan is attacked by a giant bear who terrorizes the villagers for a period of time, murdering the men and carrying off the women to save for food. Okay, it eats them actually fairly quickly. So Yellow Fangs actually begins with a bear attack, and then we're introduced to our main protagonists, a group of hunters who are tracking this vicious bear so they can kill it. Now, apparently, the bear ravaged their hometown, which is the basis for their motivation. They got to stop this thing before it continues to take more lives. So, I was actually very pleased to notice that Yellow Fangs is set mostly during the snowy winter months, the atmosphere of which is nicely accentuated by some very good production values. This is a good-looking film. There's a beautiful forest environment. There's mountain environments to enjoy. The color white hits you pretty hard at the start, as we watch our protagonist kind of track the bear in the snow. The capturing of nature in and of itself gives this film a very classy, high-quality feel at the start. Scoring is very good. The music is atmospheric and appropriate. Now, Hiroyuki Sanada is the lead actor here. He's one of the go-to Japanese actors when one of them is needed in a Hollywood movie. You would recognize him from The Last Samurai, The Wolverine. He's up there with Ken Watanabe as the two Japanese guys that are always hired, right? But he's been in some really good Japanese films as well, most notably Twilight Samurai and Ring. He's a very good actor, and he leads this film nicely. Bunta Sugawara has a supporting role, as I said. You'll notice him if you've seen the Yakuza Papers films, or The Man Who Stole the Sun, which is one of my favorite Japanese films ever. That movie's awesome. So his presence in Yellow Fangs gives this film even more legitimacy and acting quality. Story-wise, the film goes into flashback mode for a while, okay, during the middle, and the bear does kind of disappear for a little while as well. But the drama between the characters is good enough, in my opinion. It does rely on some melodramatic romance between the leads, because Sanada's character kind of romances this girl. But I actually like that aspect of the film. The female lead actress is kind of a spunky actress, and she plays a girl who's also trying to take this bear down. It's personal for her as well, because it attacked her family, her home. And I did like the actress. I think she gave a good performance, although she was a little annoying. She was kind of annoyingly whiny in a few scenes. But those moments don't last too long. I think she had good chemistry with Sanada, personally. There are some themes in this film as well. One is regarding economic progress and how our protagonists may be getting left behind in the world because they still kind of live in the past and respect nature. There's also a theme of women's progression in society. The bear actually targets the women, and women aren't allowed to do certain things in the society. So there's that commentary as well. Now, the biggest complaint of this movie that I've read online is that the special effects are very uneven and inconsistent. Now, they do use footage of actual bears in this for the wide shots and stuff like that. But when you're dealing with attack scenes, you really should use a fake bear, right? So that the actors or the animals don't get hurt. Nobody wants to get hurt in this. So this movie uses a big practical bear outfit with a man inside of it that controls its arms and movements during the attack scenes. The problem is that it looks pretty fake. It does. Sometimes the editing is pretty sharp, so you can't always tell that it's fake, but A lot of times if the edit goes long enough, you could tell it's a dude in a bear outfit, So, it's where am I at here? It's a flaw that I also did kind of had a problem with it, but I was able to suspend my disbelief a little bit. And some viewers may have a problem doing that, though. But to be clear, Yellow Fangs is not a schlocky killer bear movie. It really isn't, for like 95% of its runtime. It does venture slightly into that territory at times due to its practical bear effects. But the movie does take itself seriously, and there are some intense moments in it. In fact, I would go so far as to say that the final bear attack in this movie is pretty fantastic. I liked it a lot. It's fun and exciting, despite the fact that you could tell it's a dude in a bear outfit. I was pretty surprised by that, though. This movie definitely satisfied me. This is one of those movies that, if you read reviews online, they're generally positive, albeit mixed. And the film bombed at the box office compared to its budget. But it's one of those box office disasters that I like. I like this movie. I think it's a pretty entertaining flick. And it's good enough to check out if you're a fan of the Hiroyuki Sanada or Sonny Chiba. And now Sonny Chiba's not in the film. He doesn't act in it. He's just behind the camera. But check this one out. It's not too bad. It's available on Amazon streaming in the United States. And as always, I'll see you next time.